Good evening. Happy Friday. Let's do some nunchucks. Let's do some nunchucks, shall we? Okay. Uh, yeah, very slowly, you know. Uh, yeah, I'm not very good at it. So, I told you I'm not good at it at all. Just very slowly. It's good for finger exercise, wrist exercise, right? Yeah, very good finger exercise, wrist exercise. Just as an exercise for fun. It doesn't have to be like fancy or like just as an exercise, right? Oh, oh, all right. So trying to have some brand new moves, right? Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Okay. That should be enough. Okay. Let's take 5 minutes, please. Oh, that's nice. All right. Yeah, happy Friday, everybody. Whew. Let me grab my favorite drinks here. Uh, I think it's this one. Yeah. So the yesterday, I mean, a couple of days ago, we introduced concept of genetically modified zebra mussel, right? Let's try to define the concept a little bit because so far it is still in development in this humanology episode. Uh, so if we genetically modify zebra mussel so that it does not reproduce, it has fixed lifespan. So let's say we deploy this bag of the fishnet bag of zebra mussels that do not reproduce. So even if there's some leakage, yeah, it has fixed lifespan, so it will die. Even if there's some leakage and get into the out there in the lake, it will eventually die out. Okay, so far so good. But we need a lot of them, right, to filter the water. So then, okay, so I'm not very well educated in the details of genetic engineering. Okay, so but let's just use common sense. Okay, we have fourth generation zebra mussels, right? Let's say just start with one. Okay, and it gives out, I guess, egg and sperm. I guess. Again, I don't know too much about zebra mussels. Uh, let's think about this. Okay, logically, for the little that I know, okay, about biology, so genetic engineering, my knowledge is just introduction to biology level in a college, 4 year college. I took two classes. Okay, first and second semester biology. Very thick book, right? Uh, so because as a bachelor of science major, computer science, yeah, I had to take those. Chemistry, physics, mathematics, biology. I had to take those things. Okay, so uh, yeah, I turned on my hero. So logically, we start with one zebra mussel. Okay, so and well, one sperm and one egg. Okay, so uh, genetic engineering, the way they work is that so every organism will start with one cell. Egg and sperm to come together make this unified diploid. Egg and sperm, they're half of the DNA, right? So genome, so there's haploids. Okay, so let me flush out this water. Okay. And I don't know too much about biology of zebra mussel either, but let's all assume that they reproduce sexually, okay? Yeah. So, egg and sperm, well, so let's say there's this embryonic cell, one cell, okay, right after egg fertilization, okay. So it had in the cell, it has nucleus, right, that contains DNA. How many? Well, humans have like 23 pairs, 46 chromosomes, right? And let's say zebra mussel, let's say they have 20 chromosomes, 10 pairs, okay. And genetic engineering, they have this enzyme that specifically binds at the target gene site. Okay, they use cut and paste. Okay, so let's say they get rid of this reproduction gene. Okay, right now it's like science fiction level. Okay, because I don't know too much details about this area. All right, so okay, so zebra mussel it grows up, doesn't reproduce, and it's just one muscle, zebra muscle, and then it grows, absorbs some stuff, and die of aging. Okay, even very expensive, huh? Because we'll have to, for let's say we need 1 million zebra mussels to clean up a lake. Okay, and then we'll have to conduct this surgery to 1 million zebra mussels, which is very expensive. Can we do better? Yeah. Well, I'm not a geneticist. I'm not a biologist. I bet they have better idea. They can do better. So yeah, what we gotta do is grant them, give them some research and development. Okay, and give them some money to study those things, possibilities. Leave it to the experts, right? Yeah. So Pebble can help. If Pebble Mind, they open Pebble Mind. Yeah, they can donate some money to research and development biologists. They can come up with better idea than I can. Okay. To give something back to the nature, right? Yeah, because the regulators asked Pebblemine this question. Okay, okay, you're gonna build Pebblemine in wetland, Alaskan wetland. Okay, so how are you gonna make up for it? That's a good question. Yeah, give something back so that human development is sustainable to the nature. Yeah, it's a good concept. Planting trees, I don't think that's necessary. Why? Because in Alaska, we have a lot of trees, seedlings, and if this piece of land is uninhabited, and if soil condition and climate condition is optimal for tree growth, tree will grow there. There's no need to plant trees there. Okay, planting trees unnecessary. Okay, yeah, give nature some time. Nature is resilient. All right. So I've seen some documentaries, some pictures in Detroit, Michigan, and some other towns in the world. Abandoned buildings. Trees start to grow on top of those buildings. Okay, so nature is very resilient. Okay, so yeah, that's the thought. Okay, because in Alaska we have a lot of lakes that's kind of polluted, like lakes in the valley here, or lakes in the Anchorage or Juneau, wherever there are a lot of people. Those lakes tend to be very dirty, even in Alaska. Okay, yeah, so clean up those lakes, give something back to the nature. Yeah, people can do that if they they by now, yeah, and at this point, yeah, they're going through appeal because they rejected regulators rejected the proposal of Pebble Mine for environmental concern. Okay, so yeah, they can come up with some brand new ideas, creative, imaginative. Okay, just to find a way to give something back to the nature. Okay, so my suggestion would be clean up Alaska lakes where there are a lot of people. Okay, with those lakes are dirty. Okay. So yeah, making use of zebra mussel seems to be the right idea. What if we make zebra mussel that they never reproduce and also they live forever? That'd be a lot more difficult, okay? Because we are talking about eternal life. But the thing is this, okay? Some clam, shellfish species, uh, they seem to live indefinitely. Have you seen those big clams? They're hundreds of years old. So maybe it's not impossible. At least make this zebra mussel live for a very long time without, and also make sure they don't reproduce. I don't think it's that difficult. Okay, look, uh, some people are important. Some animals they have some genetic deficiencies such that they're impotent or sterile. Okay, sterility, impotence, it's is already known. We know what genes are involved, and it's naturally occurring genetic mutation. So let's say some clam, it does not have to be zebra mussel. I'm just giving an example, okay? There are clams out there, mostly in the ocean, okay? Okay, no problem. They live like hundreds of years old. Okay, let's bring that mussel species and genetically modify them so that they can live in fresh water. Huh? How about that? Look, geneticists has figured out to take out these bioluminescence genes from fireflies and transfer to plants so that this plant glows in darkness. Geneticists figured that out already. Okay? Now, let's say this clam, shellfish species out in the ocean, they live for hundreds and hundreds of years. Okay? Let's take that clam and it's still filtering kind of clam, okay? Let's take that clam and genetically modify it such that it lives in lake for hundreds and hundreds of years. And genetically modify this clam so that it lives in fresh water. That's first genetic modification. Second genetic modification. Make sure this clam does not reproduce. Make it sterile if it's female, make it impotent if it is male. Mhm. So this salinity, some organisms can live both in fresh water and salt water. Okay, salmon, for example, or eels, right? And some bull shark, some shark species, or some fish species, small fish. They routinely live, go back and forth between river and ocean. They can tolerate salty water and fresh water. There are some organisms who already do that. Then transfer that gene to clam so it can live in fresh water like lakes. And make sure that clam live for hundreds of years old. Live a long time. And at the same time, make sure that clam does not reproduce. So two kinds of genetic modification. Hmm? Because it will be a lot easier for biologists to make ocean clam into a lake clam. That'll be a lot easier than making zebra clam live for hundreds of years. They'll be a lot more difficult. Longevity, that's not an easy kind of like single gene turn on and off. It's more like multiple gene relay involved. Okay, so we got a solution there. Two genetic modification. First, make this hundreds of year longevity clam, longevity ocean clam, make it genetically modified so that it can tolerate fresh water. Second, make sure it doesn't reproduce. Make it important and or sterile, right? So that they don't like multiply too much. Huh? But yeah, then why is it important that they don't reproduce? With zebra clam case, they clog up the pipes, the nuisance, right? They stick on the boats and they multiply like there's no tomorrow. Okay, but when it comes to sea clam, they just live in the bottom, right? Is it okay for them to like reproduce? Well, the thing is, we don't want water to be too clean. If water is too clean, there will no fish there. There's some Korean maxim about that. Okay, so we want to control. Yes, something like that. Something like that. Okay, so yeah, yeah. So people can help by giving them biologists money so that they research and develop this kind of genetically modified organism to clean up the Alaskan lake water. You know. And it won't be just Alaska. Everywhere in the world will benefit from this kind of research and development. So the opposition to pebble mine from the world will disappear. Okay. I present this idea. I kind of did, but we kind of have more developed idea here, right? Yeah, I presented to Twitter, okay, with my friends, newly found friends in that. They're like investors for Pebble Mine project, okay, so okay. Good, we have a solution here. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know too much biology, but in a sense it's good that I don't. Why? Because if I know too much biology, then I'll be confused. Okay, I have too much biological. If I have too much biological knowledge, then what part of biology should I use? Because I know too many. Okay, but now I know only handful of biology, so my choice is limited. So I can be very creative. Okay, so yeah. Hmm. Good. Okay, let's take 5 minutes, please, and we'll talk about something else. All right. Why am I wearing orange pants? Springtime. So, what happened in the big lakes in Michigan and around in like Ontario Lake, Lake Michigan, Lake Ontario, Lake Erie, the Big Five Lake, right? Uh, yeah, it's very interesting history there. Zebra clams, it cleared up the water. Okay, water became very clean there. Okay, of course the coast, zebra clam, zebra mussels sticking to the boat, huge nuisance. Okay, yeah, they're invasive species, and from where? From what I recall, from like Black Sea, Caucasus, that region. Okay, that's what I recall. All right, so they clog up the pipes, so they're huge nuisance, big problem, right? But at the same time, there's some benefit there. Yeah, clean water. Okay, so lakes tend to become dirty when people are around. Okay, because human waste, like also animal or farmed animals or domestic pets. Okay, farmed animals basically feces urine, so eutrophy, too much nutrients, nitrogens. Okay, and there's this algae that feed on, or diatoms, so microorganisms that feed on those animal feces. Okay, nutrients, so they flourish, and lake become kind of murky, dirty, not clear. It's because of the algae. Okay, and bacterial growth, whatever. Okay, but we want our legs to be clean, right? Yeah. So muscles can help if we harness them, if we genetically modify them, so that they don't become nuisance. Okay. And so there's a lot to study there, right? We have genetic engineering technology. Okay. We can introduce some foreign species gene to another species, right? Yeah. So there's some research and development needed there. Right? I think it's a worthwhile investment to give something back to the nature. Okay. Yeah. Just give them some money. They can come up with better solutions than I ever can. Okay. They are the experts, scientists. Okay. Yeah. Also, Pebble Mine can help because they will make a lot of money. Mhm. When it comes to heavy metal, water runoff. Okay. Again, I don't know too much detail about mining operation. Okay. Uh, there's some acid runoff because excavated minerals, when they're exposed to oxygen, because under the ground, oxygen air, it's not accessible to under the ground. Okay, mostly. But when it's exposed to air, those minerals become oxidized and mixing with water, they become acidic. Okay, so that's a problem. Yeah, we can just neutralize, expose mine site with ash, which is alkalic, basic. Okay, so no problem there. But when it comes to heavy metal, which is toxic to animals, okay. Uh, yeah, my solution was, yeah, artificial filtration of those water, and then the natural filtration to sprinkle some road construction site so that nothing will grow there anyway. Okay. Yeah, just carried away, right? Yeah. And sprinkle on the soil so they naturally filter. Okay, as water goes down. Okay. Yeah, it's just one idea. Okay, but let scientists research and development. Okay, give them some money. They can come up with better idea than I ever can. Okay, so there is my suggestion. Okay, yeah, we'll reserve some pebble mine money to invest on research and development. We don't have solution yet. Why? We are not scientists. But we'll hire some scientists, just research grant, so that they can come up with better solution that we ever can. That's what I would say. Okay. Because Pebble Mine project people, they are not scientists, they're business people. So when environmental regulators, governmental regulators ask them questions, they cannot answer those questions. Why? Because they are not scientists, they are business people. Okay. What they can answer, if I was the Pebble Mine project people, I would say just this. Yeah, I mean, we are not scientists. Okay, we don't have all the answers, but we'll reserve some part of Pebble money every year and give them money to scientists so that they do research and development for the protection of the environment. And if problem arises, let them solve those problems because we give them money. Uh, that's what I would say. Duh. I present this idea to my friends on Twitter. Okay, yeah, the Pebble investors. Okay, yeah, yeah, I met some friends. Okay, so online. Okay, Twitter. So okay, that's good. I present this idea probably tomorrow. Okay, so yeah. So I mean, some scientists they get paid by environmental groups. Okay, so they give 10 different reasons why pebble mine should not be built. Okay, but pro pebble miners, they can hire some scientists too, and so that they can come up with some solutions. Yeah, this is how we can prevent environmental pollution. Okay? Because some scientists are conservative and they're pro development, some of them. Not all of them are liberalistic. Huh? So we hire our own scientists, okay? Lawyers, they do it all the time, okay? Yeah. I'm a lawyer, so I know. Okay, so you have defendants with expert witnesses and your plaintiff side expert witnesses, okay? That's how it works in trial setting, okay? So yeah. I'm kind of applying my knowledge as a lawyer to this business problem. Okay, the same concept. Okay, form versus form versus substance. Okay, substance principles is all the same. Okay, so form outer, yeah, it varies a little bit depending on context, but principle is the same. Okay, they have their side, their own scientists. We have our own scientists too. Okay, so they have their posters. We have our own posters too, like Democratic Party, Republican Party. It's same principle, okay. Okay, very good. Interesting. Yeah, we are problem solvers, right? Uh, let's take 5 minutes break. Yeah. Then we talk about something else. Well, some other aspect of the same issue. Yeah. We keep talking. Uh, so in Twitter, it's collaborative effort. Okay. So my friends there, uh, they visit my Twitter tweets and give me love. They spend their time reading what I write there. Okay. So they're like farmers. Me, I'm like a plant, a tree. So they give me water so that I bear this fruit. It's collaborative effort. Farming analogy. Jesus talked about a lot, made a lot of farming analogy. Okay. Yeah, I learned from Mr. Jesus. Okay. So he's a great teacher. Okay. Mr. Jesus. Okay. Yeah. Praise the Lord. Hallelujah. Praise the Lord Jesus. I'm a huge fan. Okay. So he's cool. So it's collaborative effort to resurrect Pebble project, uh, and because they motivate me to continue to think about this issue, Pebble, Pebble. Okay. Yeah, I continue to think about it because they motivate me because they pay attention to what I write. Okay, because otherwise I would just move on and think about some other projects like probability theory. But we are taking some break from mathematics nowadays because we did a lot past couple of months. Okay, we are just using different parts of our brain. Okay, so yeah, so that's the solution. Okay, so Pebble Mine project is an appeal now because their proposal got rejected. I'm just giving them some ideas. Okay, yeah. And when it comes to politics, let's switch the topic. Okay, let's talk politics. Okay, uh, we have Mrs. Commissioner, the rising star in Republican Party, not just in Alaska but nationally. Okay, well, just well, congratulations, Mrs. Commissioner. Okay, and there's Senator Lisa Murkowski. Okay, and there's me. So what's the difference between them, kind of institutional politicians, and me? Is this okay? When it comes to issues like Pebble Mine, which is highly controversial. Okay, uh, Mrs. Commissioner and Senator Lisa Murkowski, they're kind of because they have a lot to lose because they're already big, way up there. Me, so they are risk averse because they have a lot to lose. They are very way up there. Okay, Senator Lisa Murkowski and Mrs. Commissioner. Okay, her contender. Okay, and me, I'm down here. I got nothing to lose, so I'm more risk prone. Also, I'm a man. Okay, yeah, I'm not being a sexist, misogynist here. Many females are risk takers. Okay, but yeah, I'm kind of playful kind of guy. Also, I have nothing to lose because I'm way down here, politically speaking. Okay, yeah, they say a man who has nothing to lose has no fear whatsoever. Okay, yeah, there's a maxim about that. Okay, so when it comes to Pebble, yeah, I'm pro Pebble. But if you ask Senator Lisa Murkowski or Mrs. Commissioner who were up there, probably they will avoid the topic because it's too controversial. Okay, yeah, people who have a lot, they're risk averse. Okay, not just in politics, in business too. Okay? They are trend followers. Okay, they are not trendsetters. I am. Okay, I'm a trendsetter. Okay, so Pebble Mine stock it tanked. Okay, when the proposal was rejected, but still some people, smart people, they still hang on to their tanked Pebble Mine stocks, and they're my friends now. Okay, and I want to help them out. Okay, we're basically scratching each other's backs. I'm not an investor. I'm a politician, or politician wanna be. Okay, but they are helping me out to get the words out that I'm a candidate. I'm pro Pebble Mine. Yeah, retweets. Okay, so they are helping my campaign. Okay, and I'm helping them so that Pebble Mine get not rejected again, but get resurrected so that they make some return on the investment. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, like a symbiosis, mutually beneficial kind of political business deal here. There's no money exchange. I don't get paid by doing this, but I get paid by their time, love, friendship, which is priceless. That's better than money. Okay. Yeah. So I'm running this zero penny campaign. I'm not going to take any donations from anyone. Okay. I'm Puritan, experimentalist, and idealist. I believe politics should not be run by money. There's plutocracy. There's name for that. Democracy is ruled by people. Okay. I believe that in democracy, money should not take a big role. That's philosophy of my campaign, zero penny campaign. Okay. Yeah. So hypothetically, let's write a novel, fiction, because I'm also a writer, fictionalist, novelist, also actor, director, whatever. Okay. Yeah. We'll take 5 minutes break and we'll write a novel, impromptu, improvisation style. Okay. Creative writing class. Okay. Or creative writing exercise. All right. A novel inspired by real events. Okay. Some plausibility. Okay. Let's write a novel. Okay. By the way, during my lunchtime, I went to the hardware store and I purchased some screws and washers. Okay. Yeah, screws that's like 1 inch long, 2 inches long. Okay, about 50 of them each, and some washers, about 30 of them. Okay, so tomorrow Saturday, yeah, I can start building this frame. Okay, so yeah, I refined my design. Okay, so yeah, if there's some whiteboard we can erase, yeah, I show the final design. Okay, yeah, and my friends in the signage printing store, they really helped me out. Okay, so and I added some of my own the design. Okay, it's collaborative effort. Okay, yeah. All right, we'll take 5 minutes, please. Okay. Okay, let's make another analogy from Mr. Jesus' parable, okay? Because I'm a huge fan of Mr. Jesus. Yeah, he talked about good shepherd versus not so good shepherd, okay? Yeah, Mr. Jesus said, I'm just quoting, okay, paraphrasing. Yeah, good shepherd, when one sheep is lost, he leave this flock of sheep safe and sound in the barn, whatever, okay? Yeah, he go after that one lost sheep. That's good shepherd, okay? Yeah, I'm kind of modeling my campaign in that philosophy, ethics, moral lessons by Mr. Jesus 2,000 years ago, okay? Yeah, pebble mine, they're in danger now because uh stock price tanked, okay? So I want to resurrect because I kind of feel sorry because they're not just Alaskans, okay? They are not just some other states, Americans. There's some international interest in this, okay? Uh, like some foreign companies or foreign investors, they lost a lot of money in this. Okay, I feel sorry because they invest in Alaska, and I'm very grateful that they did. And when they lost money, I feel sorry. I want to help them out as an Alaskan. Okay, so yeah, so I'm doing my part. Okay, so I'm practicing Christian. Okay, yeah. Okay, acting, sure. Writing, acting, directing. Okay, sure. Let's do it. Okay. So the story goes, okay, hypothetically, we are writing, creative writing is fictional novel, okay? Let's say, I'm kind of excited about this, okay? So, even some coconut vodka if there's some left. Okay, there's some left. Well, it kind of smell kind of musty. I don't know what's growing inside of this. Maybe some fungus. So, it doesn't taste very good. It tastes kind of stale, okay? Maybe I buy brand new coconut, okay, and drill it. That one has been there for like I've been having that coconut vodka for several months. Okay, how many months? Probably like 5 6 months. Okay, so it's pretty good time to change it out. Whatever. So the story goes like this. Okay, let's say I wrote 10-page paper about Peppermint, pro Peppermint, white paper, propaganda paper. Okay, yeah, it is circulating. Okay, amongst my friends, Peppermint investors. Okay, and I'm making the tweets, okay, to share ideas about Peppermint, okay. My friends, they're helping me out. They're donating their time for me to read these tweets, okay. And let's say the words hypothetically, we are writing a novel, okay. Let's say Peppermint become popular, okay, owing to us, you, me. my friends in Peppermint investors. Okay, so maybe words get out. Okay, hypothetically, we are writing a novel, fiction. Okay, and it become popular and it become mainstream. So now people around the world they start to love Pebble project, so it get approved. Okay. Well, and then Mrs. Commissioner and Senator Lisa Murkowski take advantage of this, and now they advocate for strongly for Pebble project, and one of them get elected next year. Me, forgotten. Am I okay with that? Yes. Why? Uh, because I don't have to implement this. Okay, I don't have to be a senator next year. Okay, I just try. I just want to help. All right. So next year in this novel, I don't get elected. I don't get any money, and Senator Commissioner or Senator Lisa Murkowski, uh, they participate implementation of this permanent project next year after they get elected, and maybe they take advantage of the ideas that I expressed in Twitter and 10-page white paper. I'm okay with that. Actually, I strongly encourage them to do so. They don't have to pay me. I don't have to get elected. They don't have to offer me any jobs. No. I'll be very happy to see that. Why? Because I think that's good for Alaska, good for America, good for the world that this project happens. Peppermint project. I think it's beneficial for everybody in the world, not just Alaska. Okay. I think it's a good project. Okay. So yeah, oh, I strongly encourage. Yeah, take my ideas. It's not just from me. It's from other people too. Yeah, yeah. Humanology here. We are not again. We are not interested in money, power, fame. Not too much. Okay. Our goal in this humanology series is sharing of ideas for free. Okay. I'm just doing my part in this. You do your part. They do their part. We our goal is to save the world, and it does not have to be me. Our goal is to for the world to be saved, and we are all participants of this salvation business. Okay, yeah, I don't have to have money, power, fame. No, I just want to help as much as I can. Okay, why? Alaska has some crime problems. Okay, when it comes to violent crimes, Alaska is per capita rate number one, highest crime in the United States. Okay, and I want Alaskans stop committing crimes. How can we achieve that? We need some money so that we can have some good education, good programs, good entertainment, good jobs. That's our goal. And I don't have to be on the spotlight, limelight. I don't have to be a senator. No, my name does not need to be remembered. I just want Alaskans stop committing crimes. And I want Alaskan lives to be saved. I don't have to be on the spotlight, limelight. Yeah, let Mrs. Commissioner, Senator Lisa Murkowski, let them be in the spotlight, or maybe Dr. Al Gross if he's running next year, okay? Let them be on the spotlight, okay? Let them take charge of this Peppermint project and make use of the ideas I presented somewhere in Twitter, in the white paper. Oh yeah, strongly encouraged. Yeah, let them use it for free. Yeah, they don't have to remember my name. I don't have to have money, power, fame. No, it does not have to be me at all. I'm okay with being forgotten and not remembered at all. Okay. I was just happy to see Alaskan lives being saved and crimes in Alaska being stopped and disappear. I'd be very happy to see that. Although I never get elected, although I never get money, power, fame, our goal is to save the world. My goal is not to be the savior. I just want to do my part. I just want to see the world to be saved. It's not necessary for me to be on the spotlight and to be praised as the savior of the world. No, no. This way, I'm very much Christian. Okay, there's some Christian hymnal. Okay, in Korean words, yeah. 이름 없이 빛도 없이, yeah, without name, without light. Yeah, I still obey Jesus. I still do the right thing. I may not be famous, money, power, fame. Maybe I have none of that, but I will still obey Jesus. Do the right thing. Yeah, I do the right thing. There's some Korean hymnal about that. Maybe it's some translation from other country Christian hymnal. I don't know. Okay, but I grew up in that environment, very Christian environment. Okay, we are not about money, power, fame. We just want to save the world. We want to do our part, salvation of humanity, elimination of crime. All right, and when the world is saved, yeah, we'll be very happy to see that. Although our names may not be remembered, unsung heroes. Okay, I'm very used to that concept. Why? Yeah, I took some backstage crafts class. It was two credit class in Madison, Wisconsin, back in like 2000 or 2001. Okay. Yeah, we're on the backstage. We saw actors, directors, writers, but we are the boombox operators, sound operators, soundboard, lighting technicians. Okay. Unsung heroes. So I'm very used to that concept. Theatrically, cinematographically speaking. Okay. I've been to, I've been in entertainment business. Okay, so yeah, yeah, unsung heroes. Okay, makeup artists, hairstylists, acting coaches, camera operators, sound operators, boombox. Okay, microphones and lighting technicians. Okay, this lighting. Okay, yeah, backstage crafts. Okay, so unsung heroes. Okay, I'm very used to that concept. Yeah. Mhm. Sid caught. Okay, so that's the novel. Okay, so yeah, we'll take 5 minutes. Okay, so I some vocal rest. I hope you enjoy it. Okay, it was a novel. Okay, fiction. Okay, so okay. Okay, so when horse walk, they do this. Okay, yeah, I think that makes sense because if I walk like this, then I hit my toes when I'm drunk on the foot of those furnitures. Okay, ouch, that happened. Yeah, so when I'm drunk and walk around my house, I imitate these horses gaits. Okay, instead of like this. Okay, so smart animals, right? Yeah. Anyways, uh, yeah, there was this Broadway musical a couple of years ago. Yeah, the writer, director, actor in Broadway, New York, Manhattan. Okay, yeah, this Puerto Rican gentleman. What does that mean? Puerto Rico. Yeah, Puerto Rico is like rich port, wealthy door port. Okay, they went to Puerto Rico, but I made friends from there. Okay, so yeah, so this Puerto Rico gentleman in Broadway, he wrote, directed, and acted in that Broadway musical a couple of years ago. Yeah, Alexander Hamilton. Okay, yeah, kind of like disco style, right, or hip hop, right, like rap, right. Yeah, I never seen that musical. Okay, but I've read it was all sold out. It was hugely successful, multiple awards. Okay, congratulations. Uh, Yeah, it was good. Okay, I read about it in Wikipedia plus summary. Okay, yeah, some historical accuracy. Okay, yeah. Mr. Alexander Hamilton, he never became president of the United States, but he was regarded as one of the founding fathers. Okay, yeah, Federalist paper. Okay, yeah, John Jay, James Madison, but mostly Mr. Alexander Hamilton. He was Secretary of State, or Secretary of Finance, whatever. Okay, yeah. But he has some colorful career, okay. Yeah. So his colorful career, colorful life, kind of befits this Broadway musical. Okay. He was born as an orphan, out of wedlock, and then the way he died, dual, kind of absurd. Okay. And actually, who was his opponent? He was vice president. What's his name? Mr. Barr. Okay. What's his first name? I don't remember. Okay, but and this Mr. Vice President Barr, he went to trial. Okay, yeah. So that's how Mr. Alexander Hamilton died in a duel. Okay, so very dramatic, tragic hero kind of. Okay, so yeah, his life story befits this Broadway musical. Okay, yeah. Also, Mr. Alexander Hamilton, he has some extramarital affair with a married woman or somebody else's wife. So he's kind of dirty too, okay. But at the same time, he helped election of Mr. President Thomas Jefferson, okay, because the threat, the plot thickens, okay. Yeah, it was a tie between Mr. Jefferson and Mr. Barr, okay, and Mr. Alexander Hamilton, he broke the tie, okay. He persuaded other people that Thomas Jefferson should be the next president. Okay, and Mr. Barr resented that, and later on, another insult from Mr. Hamilton. So Mr. Barr proposed a duel by a gun. Okay, like cowboy style back in the days, Wild Wild West. Okay, but it happened in the Eastern Coast. Okay, what year? Early 1800s. Okay, Mr. Hamilton lost that duel and he died. stranger than fiction, right? Yeah, so yeah, it befits this Broadway musical, right? Yeah, tragic hero. Okay. So what's the difference between this Hamiltonian philosophy and Jeffersonian philosophy? Because they used to compete. They're both cabinet members on the first president of the United States, George Washington. Okay, George Washington. Okay, and Mr. George Washington, President George Washington, sided with Alexander Hamilton. Okay, so what's the difference between Hamiltonian and Jeffersonian philosophies? Thomas Jefferson was more about individual right of states. Mr. Hamilton, he was more about stronger federal government, kind of like monarchy. Okay, so that's the key difference between Hamiltonian and Jeffersonian. Jeffersonian is more about individual rights of the states. Hamiltonian philosophy more about stronger federal government. Okay, and George Washington sided with Hamilton. Okay, and Thomas Jefferson, uh, he quit his job as secretary or whatever. Okay, and he has some proteges, protege, French word. Okay, apprentices. One of them, James Madison. The other, Monroe, James Monroe. I'm not sure about his first name. Okay, but James Madison and Monroe later on became presidents themselves, two-term presidents. Okay. Thomas Jefferson, very smart man. I like him a lot. Okay. But his political opponent, Alexander Hamilton, he helped his former political opponent, Thomas Jefferson, to be the next president after John Adams. John Adams, Alexander Hamilton, George Washington, they're more like federalists. Stronger government, federal government, okay. Less individual right of the states, okay. And Thomas Jefferson and James Madison and Monroe, they are more like individual rights. And they created their own party, Republican Party, okay. And nowadays they call it Democratic Republican Party. They're trying to rewrite the history, okay. But maybe yeah, it's not fair to call it Republican Party, but that's how it was called back then. I understand it's different from today's Republican Party. So they want to be fair. I get it. But because the original Republican Party by Thomas Jefferson, James Madison, Monroe is different from today's Republican Party. Okay, I get it. Okay, because today's Republican Party that's more like if over 50 years later, over around like 1950s. Okay, slightly just before Abraham Lincoln. Okay, anti-slavery. Okay, that was there. But Thomas Jefferson, he was kind of half in between. Okay, he hated slavery, but at the same time, he owned slaves. Okay, nobody's perfect. Okay, when it comes to Mr. George Washington, I was a little bit, actually not a little bit, but hugely disappointed when I was reading this biography of Mr. President George Washington. I was hugely disappointed. Okay, and I'll tell you why in 5 minutes. Okay, let's take 5 minutes break. Okay, I need some vocal rest. American history intriguing. Okay, why? Perhaps it's because it's so dirty. Right? It's not just American history. It's any other country's history. Yeah, history is dirty. Right? Maybe that's why it's so intriguing. Okay, drama, tragedy, evil, Satan, devil. Okay, maybe that's why God created devil. evil, Satan, okay, to make human history more interesting. Ups and downs, conspiracy, this lies, and cheating, right? It makes great story, history, movies, TV shows, whatever. Okay? We take 5 minutes break, okay? So then I share with you what I've learned about Mr. President George Washington. Okay, some dark side of that gentleman. Okay, 300 years ago. Okay, so about. Okay, yeah, I was disappointed. Okay, yeah, I tell you. Okay, I was disappointed. Okay. All right, let's talk about Mr. President George Washington. Okay, so some of my criticism. Yeah, some biographical sketches and notes from Wikipedia. Okay, this all I know about him. Maybe I'm wrong, misinformed. I do not exclude that possibility. But from what I've read, what happened was this. Okay, George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, James Madison, born with a silver spoon in their mouths. Okay, their parents were very wealthy planters. They owned slaves, and they inherited this wealth of education, money, and they themselves have slaves too. Okay, yeah. For Mr. George Washington, he kind of repented, so he wrote this will. Yeah, freed all the slaves. Okay, that I own. Okay, Mr. Thomas Jefferson, maybe he was a good slave owner. Maybe he was very humane and gentle with them. Mr. James Madison, yeah, from what I've read, yeah, he never talked about it. His slave ownership, okay, whatever, okay, nobody's perfect, okay. But when it comes to George Washington, okay, he is from, I guess he's from Virginia dynasty, whatever, okay. And let me turn off the heater. It's kind of getting warm, right? Uh, too warm for this purpose. Yeah, too warm for the purpose of this discussion. Okay, so anyways, yeah, so in Virginia, he was some kind of army lieutenant, some lower ranking in this Virginia militia. Okay, and back in 1700s, okay, yeah, some English, British army, some French army, they occupied the Midwest. Today is Wisconsin, Michigan, Louisiana, in the middle of the country of America, okay, Midwest, right? So Virginia militia they took notice of that and sent this young George Washington back in 1700s. Okay, and Mr. Commander Lieutenant George Washington, maybe he was captain, whatever. Okay, as a military officer, Virginia militia. Okay, his people and he got captured by French army people somewhere in the Midwest. I think it was Ohio. Okay, way back in the days, 1700s. Okay, but these French people, some of them Canadian. Okay, they were very nice to him and his people. So Mr. George Washington delivered the message. Okay, hey, French military people, leave this country because this is America. Okay, leave these people, leave this country, go back to France, go back to Europe. Okay, leave this country alone. So he conveyed that message from his superiors. He did not write that. Okay, his superiors wrote it. Okay, so seal the envelope back in the days with this candle seal. Okay, I guess, but they refused. French Canadian army occupying Ohio. They said no, we're not gonna leave in. We're not gonna leave. And Mr. George Washington was like, okay, I conveyed the message that you're not gonna leave. French Canadian army, you're not gonna leave. Okay, I conveyed the message back to my superiors in way back in Eastern Coast, Virginia. Okay, yeah. And this Saint Pierre Simon, this kind of French Canadian army official, okay, he was extra nice, and Mr. George Washington was impressed. Okay, because they not only provided food, they also provided clothing to these enemies, enemy combatants, and they sent them back home, Virginia, with food and clothing. Okay. What's the name of that Canadian, French Canadian gentleman? Saint Peter, Saint Pierre. Okay. Yeah. I just read off of this. Okay. George Washington delivered the British demand to vacate the French comment Wikipedia. Okay. George Washington biography. Okay. George Washington, delivered the British demand to vacate to French commander Saint Pierre, but the French refused to leave. Saint Pierre gave Washington his official answer in a sealed envelope after a few days' delay, and he gave Washington's party food and extra winter clothing for the trip back to Virginia. Washington completed the precarious mission in 77 days in difficult winter conditions, achieving a measure of distinction when his report was published in Virginia and in London. And then Mr. Washington's superior sent him back to Ohio with more soldiers and some allies like native Indians, American natives, okay? And they killed French soldiers. I was very disappointed. It's like biting the feeding hand, returning evil for good, which is one of the most evil most thing in according to Bible, right? Somebody give you some charity in return, you steal from them. That's like what Baljac, Jean-Jacques, whatever. Okay, this Les Miserable. Okay, that story. Okay, so this priest in Catholic priest in France saved this burglar, thief, criminal, and he stole his wallet. Right? Yeah, it's like that. Returning evil for the good. Highly, highly evil in Christian biblical tradition. Okay, so to me, Mr. George Washington, the very first president of the United States, it kind of reminds me of this Mr. Jesus and devil, the interaction between devil and Jesus. Okay, the devil showed Mr. Jesus 40 days, 40 nights fasting in the desert in Israel, North Africa. Okay, devil offered, oh, hey, I'm the devil. I'm in charge of this world. Okay, dirty world. Okay, if you kneel down before me, I give you all the world, glory, money, power, fame, Mr. Jesus. Kneel down before me, okay? Then I give you money, power, fame, glory, worldly, memory, glory. I give it to you. Jesus said no, okay? But when it comes to Mr. George Washington, I think he said yes. I think he knelt down to the devil for money, power, fame, and his personal ambition, political ambition, and went after the French army in Ohio after they saved him, after they gave him and his troops food and winter clothing. He came back to Ohio and killed them. Maybe not the same group of people, but French people still. I don't know. I do not know the details because I'm not a professional historian. I'm not a professional historian, just like I'm not a professional scientist. I'm just amateur. Okay. I was very disappointed. Okay. So I'm not a huge fan of Mr. George Washington. Okay. But yeah, Mr. George Washington, John Adams, Alexander Hamilton. Okay, that people are people. Okay, they're good and bad. Okay. But I like Thomas Jefferson, James Madison. Why? They have some elements in them that I can relate to. They're bookish, scholarly, academician. They love books. They're a huge fan of history and languages. Okay, so I can relate to them. Okay, but George Washington, yeah, maybe it was in impossible situation. Okay, okay, so he went to Ohio, got captured, kidnapped by French army people, some of them Canadian French, okay. And those Canadian French or French people, army people, were nice to them. They fed them with good food and even sent them back to Virginia from Ohio to Virginia with some good winter clothing. So, yeah, okay, after 77 days, he went back to his troops, back to Virginia, and he reported to his superior, and his superior sent him back to Ohio to kill French army people. Impossible situation, okay? Maybe he had to obey to kill the people who saved him and his troops. Impossible situation, okay? Yeah, maybe. Yeah, what other choices did he have? Okay, would he just get out of the Virginia militia, quit? Would I have? Yes. Why? It was I cannot possibly kill people who saved my life. I would have quit. Yeah, but back in the days, traitor, okay, they get shot or get hanged. Okay. But at least I would have escaped. Because I cannot possibly kill people who saved my life and my troops' lives. No, I would have just run away and go somewhere else. But Mr. George Washington did not do that, okay? He went back to Ohio and he killed all those French army people who saved their lives, his life, okay? So I was so disappointed, okay? So this, I was shocked to learn about this, about Mr. President, fourth President of the United States, George Washington. I disappointed, okay? So I rather side with Thomas Jefferson, James Madison. They're more bookish, knowledge, okay? Okay, Louisiana Purchase, Thomas Jefferson and James Madison. Okay, it's not just Louisiana State. No, it's Louisiana, Wisconsin, Kentucky, whatever. It's bigger chunk in the American Midwest. Okay, Louisiana is just one of them. Okay, Louisiana Purchase, Thomas Jefferson, James Madison. They did not fight they paid who? To whom? We take 5 minutes break. Okay, I'll tell you. Okay. So Louisiana purchased early 1800s. Thomas Jefferson as president and his protege apprentice James Madison. Okay. Louisiana purchase. Louisiana purchase. Okay. It was not just state of Louisiana. No, it's big string of states that double the size of the United States. Okay. And they purchased all those Midwestern American states today, doubling the size of America. Who did they bought this Louisiana and Midwestern states in America back in early 1800s? Who did they buy that from? Louisiana Purchase. Who was the seller? Maybe you already know. Okay, if not, feel free to Google web search, Bing, Yahoo, okay, web search, or maybe take a guess. If not, just relax, okay, because I'll tell you in 5 minutes, okay. So, intriguing story, history, okay. American history, very interesting, okay. Yeah. Just like any other country's story, histories, okay. I'm still learning it, okay. It was fascinating. A hint: the seller was a French. Maybe kind of a little bit Italian, okay. Italian, French, a little bit, okay. Early 1800s, okay. Who was the seller? That's the question, okay. And I'll share with you the answer in 5 minutes, okay. Thank you. Please. Very intriguing, interesting. Hmm. Okay, I cook my dinner in the microwave. It's onions. I love onions. Okay, and there's this interesting lemon, whatever theme that I'd like to share with you. Okay, so it's very popular meme back in the days. Okay, I'll show you. It's lemon. I have to look it up again. Okay. By the way, yeah, Monroe. Yeah, it's James Monroe. Okay, Monroe Doctrine. Whatever. John Quincy Adams, the son of eldest or youngest son of John Adams, whatever. Okay, writer. I'm more interested in lemon meme. I'll show you. Back in the days, very famous. Okay. Ah, lemon. Some subspecies of monkey. Okay. Yeah, lemon hop. Right. They hop around. Okay. Yes, just stop. Okay. Because the more I talk, the stupider I sound. Okay, yeah, something like that. Okay, yeah, just yeah. I ran into this meme when I was working as a computer programmer back in the days. Okay, some of my colleagues have this picture of me. Okay, so funny. Okay, so yeah, stop, just stop. Yeah, Miss Senator Kamala Harris with Vice President Mike Pence last year 2020, in Vice President debate. You just keep talking and talking like this. All right, yeah. So Miss Kamala Harris, like, yeah, stop, okay, stop, okay. And a lot of Americans were impressed. She's brown, female, and the Vice President Mike Pence is white, Caucasian, male. So a lot of Americans were very impressed by this performance of this Californian ethnic brown senator, female, standing up, okay, against this Caucasian male incumbent. And I was impressed too. Okay. I'm not against white people. I'm not against males, but her performance now, Vice President Kamala Harris, she did very well. Okay, she stopped him from keep on talking. Okay, because he was like very dumb, kind of Trumpian year 2020 last year. Okay, it was failed strategy. Okay, whatever. Okay, yeah. I do not agree with Ms. Kamala Harris. She called Latinx very ignorant. It's Latino, Latina. Okay, she wanted to be gender neutral. Okay, going along with Democratic Party. Kind of very uneducated and ignorant version of egalitarianism. Okay, I'm not sure if she speaks even Spanish. I do some. Okay, Latino, Latina. Okay. And she called Latinx, okay, to be gender neutral, just going along with the mainstream Democratic Party liberalistic agenda, okay. She's trying to reinvent Spanish. To me, that's very, very dumb, alright? Ignorant, linguistically speaking, okay. Dumb. I do not agree with her at all. Well, President Biden, Democratic Party, I agree with some of their agenda, like abortion. Yeah, I'm more pro-choice, okay. I'm more about pro trade, international trade, respect for foreign countries. Yeah, international trade. I'm kind of Ricardo. What's his first name? David Ricardo or something. Yeah, the comparative advantage, international trade. I'm all for that. Okay. Anyways, so who was okay? Let me answer this question. Okay, it was Napoleon Bonaparte. Bonaparte, good part. Eh? Bonaparte, Napoleon Bonaparte, who was the seller of this. Yeah, so President Thomas Jefferson and Secretary of whatever, maybe Treasury, okay, Mr. James Madison, okay, his protege, apprentice, okay. They had offered a deal to Napoleon Bonaparte in early 1800s, okay. Yeah, we'll pay, for example, like $10,000 for Louisiana. And Napoleon Bonaparte, he was needy, European war, early 1800s, okay? He needs some cash, okay? You know what? I give you counter offer, okay? Not $15,000, but $18,000, but not just Louisiana State. I give you some more. Kentucky, Wisconsin, Michigan, okay, all these big Midwestern states. Just $3,000 more, okay? I give them all to you. And they took it. And they doubled the size of United States of America in early 1800s. That's Louisiana Purchase. Not a single drop of blood shed, unlike George Washington. Okay, so Thomas Jefferson, James Madison, they are very bookish, nerdy, geeky. They love books. Okay, they studied not just European history, Montesquieu, John Locke or Jean-Jacques Rousseau, they went way back. Like they spoke Latin, Greeks, whatever, philology. Okay, and yeah, they studied James Madison. They studied Greek philosophy and democracy way back, ancient history. So I can relate to that. Okay, because I'm kind of bookish, nerdy, bookworm. Okay, no bloodshed. Yeah, just give them some money. Okay, then they purchase the double the size of the United States. Early 1800s from Napoleon Bonaparte of France. Diplomacy, negotiation. Okay. So I'm more Jeffersonian, Madisonian, okay. Monroe, yeah, Monroe Doctrine, okay. Yeah, European countries stop, just stop, okay. Don't meddle with North America or South America, European influence. Just stop, okay. This Monroe Doctrine, okay. Okay. So I don't like this George Washington very much. Okay, I'm more like Jeffersonian, Madisonian. Okay, George Washington. Okay, too brute force approach and biting the feeding hand, political gain. Okay, kind of kneeling down to the devil, temptation of the devil, personal gain, self-serving, killing the people who saved him, okay, and his troops. Okay, so Mr. George Washington, I do not like him very much. I was disappointed when I learned about his biography. Okay, Uh, I'm more Jeffersonian, James Madisonian. Okay, the constitutionalists. Okay, political speech. That's constitutional activity. Okay, I do not support Mr. President Trump, former President Trump, as a politician. Okay, he has some goods and bads. Okay, but politically, in my opinion, he proved himself to be not good at it. Okay, but some Republicans in Alaska or America, okay, they still support Mr. President Trump, former President Trump, as a politician for 2024 election. To me, that's political liberty, constitutional activity, freedom of speech. I respect that. Okay. Yeah, I do. It's their right, their freedom, liberty. Okay. Yeah, no objection there, right? But when it comes to me, yeah, I don't support Mr. Trump as a politician anymore because we gave him 4 years to prove himself, and he failed. Yeah, he's handsome guy. Okay, he big smile, this political presidential portrait. Yeah, he's smiling. Okay, yeah, that's good. He's pretty handsome. Okay, but he proved himself to be not so good a politician, right? He was smart enough to get elected back in 2016, but he was not smart enough to lead the nation in the right direction, in my opinion. He did something good. Okay, yeah, Southern border wall, good idea. Okay, and yeah, his diplomacy with Mr. Kim Jong Un of North Korea, I think he deserved Nobel Prize for that alone. Okay, he did unique job, singular. Only he could have done it. Meaning North Korean leader Mr. Kim Jong Un. He's younger than me, by the way. I think he's in late 30s. I'm early 40s. Maybe he's like younger than me by 4 or 5 years. Mr. Kim Jong Un. And Mr. Kim Jong Un respected former President Trump as political mentor. That's singularly, uniquely Trumpian. Okay, I admire that. Only Mr. President Trump could have pulled that off. That was very cool, right? And he did very well with Russia. Yeah, Gospodin Vladimir Putin. Okay, yeah, he did very well. With Russia, North Korea, he did very well. And southern border wall, good idea. Okay, but with China and Iran, I don't think he did very well. Okay, but nobody's perfect. Okay, so President Trump, former President Trump, some goods and bads. Huh? I think he's a fairly smart man. But he's no James Madison. He's no Thomas Jefferson. He's no JFK. He's no FDR. He has good and bads, okay? Maybe slightly above average. Slightly so. But he made big mistake January 6th, okay? That was very dumb of him. So I got out of Republican Party after that. I'm just one of them. Exodus people, okay? But Democratic Party people, Republican Party people, they're cool. Huh? We need them, okay? Elites, we need them. Common people, we need them too. I'm kind of halfway in between, yeah, quasi elite, quasi common people. I'm in the between, okay? Why? Because I'm kind of lazy. I drink, I smoke cigarettes, okay? But I have no problem sleeping. I have more problem waking up. Okay. My colleagues, my superiors, they know all about it. Okay. I do not have any problem falling asleep, but I have more problem waking up. Okay, I will. I really love sweet morning sleep. One extra minute. Yeah, King Solomon he talked against it. Okay. Yeah, you. Oh, just one more minute, one more second. Your morning sleep. Okay. Then the hunger, army of hunger, will march towards you. Okay. You better wake up early. Okay. Yeah, I'm a Christian, but I'm having very difficult time abiding by the morning lark. I'm more like owl, nocturnal species. Okay, so waking up in the early in the morning every day is a challenge. Okay, so but during the weekdays, yeah, it's a challenge. But during the weekends, I tend to wake up very early. Okay, during the weekend, Saturday, Sunday. Okay, during the Monday to Friday, yeah, it's a struggle to wake up early. Okay. But during the weekends, like Saturday, Sunday, I tend to wake up earlier. Why? Because I want to come here, humanology series, and start drinking. Yes, Saturday, Sunday, I start drinking early in humanology series. Okay. Monday through Friday, I cannot drink in the morning. I have to go to work. Okay. So yeah, just one more minute, one more second. Okay. Oh, I want to remember what dream I had last night. 10 hours ago, about 1 hour ago, 30 minutes ago. I want to remember this dream, okay? Ah, one more minute. That's me, okay? I'm no saint. I'm lazy, dirty, okay? So, yeah. Okay. So we'll wrap it for tonight, okay? So, happy Friday. God bless you for generations to come, okay? Thank you for being my friend. Thank you for your friendship. Thank you for your love, support. God bless you for generations to come. Okay. Okay. Happy Friday. Bye.